Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning. Myself Muralidhar Reddy. I'm a DevOps consultant and solution architect. Now we are going to discussing about how do we create the NAT gateway. Before going to create the NAT gateway, first we will be understanding what is NAT gateway. Okay, what are the features are providing? Where exactly we are using this NAT gateway? Okay, fine. Now coming to the what is NAT gateway. NAT Gateway is a AWS managed service. Remember, NAT Gateway is the AWS managed service. Using this NAT Gateway, okay, it is enables instances in a private subnet to connect to the internet. It means like whatever we created, app subnet, data, private subnets, if you want to give the access to the internet, will be use the NAT Gateway. Okay, it is highly available and scalable, automatically managed by AWS. It means, as I said, NAT Gateway is AWS managed. That's why you don't want to worry on that one. Just we'll be create that one and we'll be pay whatever we are using. Okay, understand, right? Again, I'm telling AWS is a AWS NAT Gateway. NAT Gateway is the AWS managed service. Using this one, if you have any instances in private to communicate internet, we will be using the NAT gateway. Okay, and it is highly available and scalable as well. And coming to the key features, first one is managed service. As I said, right, it is a managed service, and also in AWS team they are maintaining high availability and scalability. Okay, and automatic scaling. Okay, based on bandwidth increasing automatically, it is automatic scale up to meet the bandwidth requirement. Let's take example. If thousands of let's take example 10 GB per second, it is automatically managing. Okay, in case our topic is 100 GB per second, it is automatically increased because backend everything will be taken care by NAT gateway. I mean AWS. Okay, and easy of use. It means like we can easy to set up and we can use it to use this NAT gateway. Okay, and also highly available. Okay, we can deploy this particular NAT gateway in single available zone, and also if you want to be set up for highly available to maintain the redundancy, you can create a NAT gateway with the different available zones as well. Okay, clear, right? And how do we create? We can see it. Before going to create, first we will be understanding the diagram. Let's take an example. You have a AWS account. Inside the AWS account, you have a you have created a NAT inside the NAT Oregon region. Okay, let's take example. We have created the Murli VPC. Instead of Murli VPC, Murli you can consider as a dev VPC. Okay, here we created the public subnet. The range is 10.100.8 series. Okay, we created the private subnet, that is the 10.100.8021. If you observe here, this public subnet, if we create the public route table, we attach that we added the routes. It should be accessed to the public subnet, correct? And also we attach the internet gateway. We create the public route table. We attach it. So it means the public subnet, whatever we have a public subnet. If you launch any server, it should be access to the internet because we are adding the route as 0.0. Okay. Now, when it comes to the private subnet, right? We don't have any. It should not be having any access to the over the internet. For that one, right? What you have to do, right? You have to create the NAT gateway in public subnet. You have to create the NAT gateway in public subnet. Then, okay. Then what you have to do, right? You have to create a route table. Inside the route table, you have to update this NAT gateway ID to the 0.0. It means, right, the private subnet directly should not go to the internet. It will go to the through NAT gateway for more secure. Okay, you may ask question, why do we why do we launch private subnet? I can launch everything public subnet, right? Remember one thing. Let's take example database. Database is not recommended to launch it public subnet. We always create the data subnet and will be created. So the particular data subnet means it means it is a private subnet only, right? So it don't have any internet access. So if you want to give any internet access, example, you want to do the M update. Okay, if you want to do any patching, security patching, okay, application related patching. So it should be required internet access, right? For that one, we'll be mediator. We'll be use the NAT gateway and we'll be attach the particular NAT gateway to the route table of our private route table. Okay, let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. Okay. For that one, we have already this particular setting up NAT gateway, and you can see here this is the diagram. And before going to create it, first you have to understand what are the things you require to create it. One is created the AWS VPC, two public subnets, two private subnets, and also two app subnet, two data subnet. Earlier we created, right? We have to create it, and also you have to create that dev VPC. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, we created a public route table and we have attached the public subnets and also private route table, and we have attached the app data and the private subnets to the particular private route table. And also we have created the routes inside the public route table as a internet gateway. It means we have an internet access. And now the thing is, if you have any servers in private subnets, that needs to be communicated to internet. Okay, it means for that one, right? We always recommended to use NAT gateway to when if anything required over the internet. Okay, it should be go through the NAT gateway for more securely. Instead of creating a database related public subnets, we can create a private subnets. We can create the NAT gateway so that it is more secure. For that one, right, we have to create the dev VPC NAT gateway. So go to that AWS account. Okay, so earlier, if you are not aware, please have a look. Creation of custom VPC so that you'll get some idea. Okay, fine. Now what you have to do, right? Come here, go to here. I'm starting this. Yeah, go to VPC and go to here. Here we have a NAT gateway. Here if you see here NAT gateway, select this one, and here you can create a NAT gateway, and here you can give the name. Name is dev-vpc NAT gateway, and here very most important thing, you have to create in public subnet. Remember, you have to create in public subnet. This is the one of the most important question, whether you really aware of or not, they can easy to identify. Here, Murli, for NAT gateway, where you are going to, which subnet you are going to create it. You have to create in public subnet, because when you the particular NAT gateway will be attaching to the route table, private route table, that internally it will go to the NAT gateway. So it should be the particular NAT gateway should be in public subnet. If you see here we have a public subnet. Go to here. Come down. If you see here, we have a public subnet, that is a 1B. And here, very most important, when you are creating the public subnet, we require a elastic IP. Okay, we require elastic IP. If you have any elastic IPs, we can see it here. Otherwise, you can allocate elastic IP, allocate it. Now, if you see here, it is attached 44.217. That is the public IP. Okay, now we can create the NAT gateway. Remember, this NAT gateway, it may take 2 to 3 minutes to create everything up and running. Before going to that one, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one more server. Okay, that is private subnets. Let's see whether we have access or not. Then I will add it NAT gateway to the route table. Then we'll see what is the major difference. Okay, for that one, right, launch instance. Okay, I'm giving here private server. Private server, and you can come here. So it may take time. Meanwhile, we are creating the server, and that Amazon Linux 2. Okay, and select the instance type is fine. T2.micro. And real time we won't be use T2.micro. We always use the major one, T3.medium, large, everything. Okay, edit. You can select the specific VPC. Here, most important, you have to select the private app data. Any subnet, that is all are private only. Okay, I'm selecting the private subnet. Okay, here I'm selecting the default VPC only. Remember, in real time, we always choose a specific application related HG. Okay, and if it's come down, okay, here now if you observe here, auto assign public IP, it is disabled. The reason is in subnets we haven't enabled IP for public, because for private subnet we don't require, right? Why do we require IP address for private subnets? That's why we don't need to enabling private auto assign for private public IPv for private app data subnets. Okay, clear. Now we can create the launch instance. Okay, now you may ask question here, Murli, you have created this server is a private subnet. It means it is launched the private subnets. It is assigned only private IP. How do we connect? For that one, what you have to do, right? First, you have to connect the public IP, and then from there you have to connect the private IP. So first I'm connecting the public IP. Go here. This is the public IP. Okay. Now you can connect it. Now if you see here, you have connected. Now why what we required? We required, if you want to be connect that particular private IP inside the public subnet, we required PEM file. What is the PEM file of this one? If you see here, private subnet, right? This is the dev PEM file. We have to copy that PEM file and we have to paste it in this particular public server. Okay, give me 1 second. Now, if you see here, this is our PEM file. Now I'm copying this one. Okay, go to the public server. Okay, now I'm creating here dev.pem file. Remember, I'm inside the server. Okay, give it insert mode and you can paste it here. Now, fine. Don't give any spaces. If you give any spaces or if something is right, it won't work. Okay, now what you have to do, right? Give the LL command. Here, if you observe here, we have a read, write, reread permissions. What you have to do, right? You can give the chmod 400 permissions. Let's see, okay? Dev. Now, if you see here, we have a PEM file. Now, inside this public server, we have PEM file, right? Now, we can connect using private. How it will work? As I said, right, inside the routes, we have a 10.100 series. It means internally it will be communicated. It should be routing access, right? That's why we can directly connect with private IP, okay? EC-user. Okay, now we can copy that particular one. What is the IP? Private IP, can copy this. Okay, give it. Now if you give yes. Now if you see here, I have these my public IP inside the public server. I have connected the private using PEM file. So it should be work. We can call it as a gem server or Bastion host server. Whatever we are following the process, right? This is called as gem server or a Bastion host server. It means like once one server we launched in public subnet, we have connected that one. From that one, we are connecting the private IPs. Okay, private server. Okay, fine, right? Now we can go to that sudo -. Okay, now fine. Now what you have to do? Now we connected, everything's fine. Now we connected. Now what I'm doing here, right? This is the private subnet. I'm using install git command. Let's see. If you use install git command, I don't have access for internet because I have created private subnets. I haven't attached an internet gateway to the route table. Okay, that is the reason we don't have access. For that one, right? What we are going to do? We are creating the NAT gateway and we are declaring that particular NAT gateway. We are declaring the particular NAT gateway to the private route table so that it should be accessed over the internet through NAT gateway. If you see here, wait for a few seconds so that you will get some error. Okay. If you see here, we don't have access. That's why you are getting. If you go and check it here, right? If you see here, could not return mirror list. The reason is it is not able to fetch from internet. That is the reason it is throwing the error. Okay. If you see here, it is connection timeout after 500 milliseconds. Okay. Understand that? Fine. Now you can check it here. Could not find base URL. Fine. Now what you have to do, right? Now we can check it here. NAT gateway. Just refresh this. Now we have created NAT gateway. Okay. NAT gateway. If you see here, this is the NAT gateway ID. Whether it is public, yes. State is what is that? And here, if you see here, we attach the Elastic API, right? You can see it here, and also you can see the private IPv4. That is the private IPv4. Remember, when you're creating, right, internally, the particular subnet, wherever you are creating, it will be assigned the specific private IP, okay, 10.100 series. And also you can see it here, private network ACL, interface ID, it will create. And also you can see the VPC, which VPC, and this particular NAT gateway, which subnet we have created. We have created the public subnet 1B, okay. And also you can see that when it was created, and you can see it here. If you have any second IPv4, you can see it. If you want to be monitored, you can see it here. Okay, packet loss and everything, packet out to destination, source, everything, and also you can check it here. If you want to edit the IPv4, you can see it here. Okay, clear, right? Fine. If you want to be change it different Elastic API, you can do that one here as well. Fine. One thing, once we create this one, what you have to do, right? What you have to do? Go to the route table. go to the private route table. Okay, and now go to the routes, edit routes. In this private route table, we are going to add it 0.0. It should be it should be go through NAT gateway. Where is that NAT gateway? Select the particular NAT gateway. We have a dev-VPC NAT gateway. Okay, select that one. You can save changes. Now what will happen? This particular whatever we have a private VPC route table, we have associated the multiple subnets, public, private, private app data subnets. It means like it should be having access to internet through NAT gateway. Through NAT gateway. NAT gateway means it should be more secure. Instead of going through internet gateway, if you attach the NAT gateway, it should be more secure. That's why we always recommend for private app data subnets, we always create the NAT gateway and we'll be attach it. Now we can try with here. Earlier it doesn't work, right? Earlier it doesn't work. Now I'm using install git -y. Now if you see here, now I have access for internet. That's why I'm able to get it. Understand it? Now I have access for internet. That's why I'm able to get it. If you see here, I'm able to get it. I'm able to install the install git. Git command is installed. Okay, understand, right? After I have added this particular route, particular NAT gateway to the route table, the particular NAT gateway to the route table, I'm able to access. Here more secure. The reason is it is not directly go to the internet. It is going through NAT gateway. So it means more secure only. Okay, understand that? This is the process of accessing servers. Whatever we have, any private server, if you want to be access over the internet, instead of giving attaching internet gateway, we create a NAT gateway and we will be attach the particular NAT gateway to the route table, and whatever we attach the private app data subnets, it should be accessed for over the internet. Okay, understand that? And one more thing, for high availability, we always recommend instead of creating a NAT gateway in single available zone. Okay, instead of creating NAT gateway in single available zone, we can create a multiple. How will we create like dev-VPC NAT gateway 1A, dev-VPC NAT gateway 1B, and what we will do, right? Instead of creating a route table, single route table, okay, single route table, dev-VPC route table, private route table, we can give it dev-VPC private route table -1A, -1B, and then 1A related app private data subnet will be associated here, and same thing for 1B related will be associated here. Okay, that is the best practice. Usually this is also fine, but if you want to be maintaining a NAT gateway for high availability, always recommend instead of creating this NAT gateway in single 1D, 1B, so better to use the better to what we can say, better to create a multiple available zone, this particular NAT gateway, and we attach route table. Okay, understand, right? Any questions? Now, right? Yeah, once practice complete, try to destroy everything. So otherwise, like it will be little bit cost, because NAT gateway it will be charged, and also NAT gateway it is using Elastic API, right? It will be charged, and also we have created server side. It will be charged. We always recommend try to destroy once your practice completed. Now what I'm going to do, right? I'm deleting both servers. Select these both servers and go to the instance, terminate. Okay. Now I'm terminating both public and private servers, so it won't be charged. Okay. First, once we delete this one, right? What you have to do, right? I'm going to that NAT gateway. NAT gateway also I'm going to delete it. Delete NAT gateway. Here I'm giving the delete it. Okay. Once we delete, right? Internally it will delete the Elastic API as well. We can see it whether it will delete or not. It is deleting. It may take 1 or 2 minutes to delete it. Okay. Once we delete NAT gateway, then we can delete the route tables as well. You can go here. I'm selecting the route table and select this delete route table. Now if you see here, it is associated subnets. That's why it is throwing that error. Now what we can do, right? We can dissociate here. Now you can unselect all, save it. It means it will be attached to the default route table. Okay, if you dissociate, now you can check it here. You can able to delete it. Delete this. Same thing for public as well. Select this route tables. You can select that one. Unchecked all. Now you can delete route table as well. See this route table. Okay, subnets it won't be charged. If you launch it anything, it will be allocated one IP address. That particular IP it will be chargeable. Okay, but still we wanted to delete all the servers, everything. That's why I highly recommend, once we're done, please try to delete entire infrastructure, whatever you created. Now I'm going to create the dev VPC. If you see here, when I'm trying to delete it, it's throwing the error. Okay, now you can delete it. Okay, usually, right, if any dependencies, it means like inside this particular VPC, if we create any servers, first you have to delete the servers. But in our case, right, we already deleted, that's why it is not throwing any error. Because here, if you see here, it is showing that terminated. Okay, now you can see it here, it is deleted. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? Now we are going to discussing about how do we create the NACL, how do we test, what is the purpose of using NACL. Let's see. Before going to create the NACL, right, we'll be discussing about what is NACL. Okay, theory part, so that you will get some idea, and then we can go with the practical. Okay, fine. Now coming to the NACL. NACL is a optional layer of security for your VPC, and it will act as a stateless. It means like you have to enable both inbound and outbound. You may be aware security group, right? Earlier we discussed. In security group, if you enabling inbound, automatically outbound allow, right? But when it comes to here, right, NACL level, you have to be in and out, you have to enabling. This particular NACL will be applied at subnet level. Will be applied at subnet level. Okay, you can set up in and outbound rules to allow or deny and specific for individual subnets. Remember, guys, NACL, we already discussed what is the difference between NACL and security group. NACL, it will work as a subnet level, and also we can allow or deny at both inbound and outbound if you use the NACL. Okay, and coming to the key features, stateless. Stateless means like it is a response to allow inbound traffic are subject to the rules for outbound traffic as well. It means like, let's take example, you have to enabling port number 22, or if you want to enabling port number 80, what you have to do, right? You have to enabling inbound, and also you have to enable outbound. That means you have to allow inbound and also outbound as well. It is mandatory. Only enabling inbound. If you're not enabling outbound, it won't work. Okay, fine. And coming to that subnet level security, it means like it will be whatever we are going to this NACL, we can apply at subnet level only. Okay, rule order inside the NACL, what is the least number, it will be apply first. It means like, let's take example, you have created a NACL, you are giving the rule number 100, it is giving that deny. But if you mention that rule number 99, it is allow, it means it is allow even if you because that particular number is 99 is low priority, right? It means it will be allow. Okay, and one more thing, if you least number it's deny, after highest number if you allow also, it will be deny only, because initially we deny, right? That's why it should be deny only. Okay, fine. Now we can see the demo so that you will get some idea. For that one, first we will be understanding the diagram so that you will get some idea. So first we have a AWS account. Inside the AWS account, we have a VPC. Example, Murli-VPC. Instead of Murli-VPC, you can consider as a dev VPC. Okay. Now we have a public subnet, private subnet, app subnet, data subnets. Okay. Already we created, right, all the subnets we have, and then we will be attached IGW to the VPC. Then what we will do, right? We will be create the public subnets, and we will be associate public subnet related. We will be create the public NACL, and we will be attach all the public subnets to the public NACL. Same thing, we will be create the private NACL, and we will be attach all private app data subnet to the associate to the private NACL. And then I will be launch one EC2 instance in a public subnet, and will be tested whether it is working or not. Remember one thing, even if you deny a specific port number or specific IP address at public, at NACL level, even though if you're enabling at security group level port number, it won't work. Remember this point. Okay, clear, right? Fine. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. For that one, right? We already created a public servers also we have created. Here we have a VPC. Okay, in this particular VPC, we have a dev VPC, and if you see here, we have all the public app data subnets we already created. If you are not aware, please have a look custom VPC creation so that you will get some idea. Okay, and also we can see the route table, we have created it, public route table, we have attached the public subnets, and also we have given the route table, and also we have private subnets, we can see the private app data subnets we have associated here. Okay, and also we have created internet gateway and we have attached, and also I have launched the server in public subnet. If you see here you can see that come down. Here you can see the public subnet one here. Okay, clear, right? Fine. What is the next one? Now, next one we have to create it. As I said, right? When you create the VPC, default NACL will be created. Okay, now we can verify that. Go to here. Go to NACL. Where is that? Yeah. If you see here, security network ACLs. Now, if you see here we have a default VPC, dev VPC. Okay, it contains 8 subnets. It is attached to only default NACL. Remember, if you create any subnet, default, it will be attached to the default NACL. If you see here, this is the default NACL, this is the NACL ID. How many subnets are associated? Public to, private to, app to, data to. Total 8 subnets is associated. And here you can see it, whether it is default with NACL or not. If you see here, it is yes means it is default NACL. Where exactly created, which VPC, this you can see it here. How many 2 inbound rules, 2 outbound rules we have? Okay, we can see that one. If you see here, this one, and you can go to details, you can see the ID and also which account and how many subnets associated. Okay, which VPC, whether it is default or not, you can see it. And coming to the inbound rules, right? First inbound rule 100. Okay, this 100 is allowed and remaining all it is denied. It means like you have given 100 is allowed, right? It means all the traffic, inbound and inbound, all the traffic, any port number, everything we have given the over the internet, but is not recommended. But when you create the VPC, default it is a 0.0 only. And coming to the outbound rules, right? Here also you can see that 100. Here also you can see the outbound also it is enabled. After 100, right? We given the star means it is a high priority. Highest number. That's why it is, even though if you deny, right, still it is taking the allow option only. Okay, understand it? And you can see the subnet associations. Here we can see the all the subnet, public, private, app, data subnets are associated, but it is not recommended. We always create the subnets. Okay, sorry, NACL. For public, we will create the public NACL. For private, we will be create the private NACL. For that one, right, I'm going to create a network ACL. Here I'm giving dev -VPC. Okay, public NACL. Okay, it means like this is the public NACL. Okay, then we will be attached only public related subnets. Okay, now we can create NACL. If you see here, when you create the NACL, okay, default it won't be attached to any default, it won't be associate anything. If you see here, it is empty. Now select this one, go to subnet association. It is subnet associations. You can attach the public one. Okay, if you go here, public 1A, 1B. Okay, now you can save changes. Okay, now if you see here, it is attached the 2 subnets. Now same thing, I'm going to create the private as well. Create a sub VPC. I mean this one. You can give the private. Okay, we give the private NACL and select the specific VPC. It is this one, and you can network ACL, create that, and you can check it here. Check it here and go to the subnet association, edit, and here you can attach the private directory. Remember one thing, same as subnets only. I mean route table subnets. If you attach this particular subnets to another NACL, existing subnets attached to the NACL, right? It will be detached and it is attached to the new NACL. Okay, clear, right? Now I'm giving here private. Okay, okay, fine. Save changes. Now if you see here, here we have created total 6 is private and 2 is public subnets. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? No, right? Now only creating it is means like if you see here public subnet, right? If you go here and check it here we give that all the traffic is denied. It means like it should not be allowed. When we create the custom NACL, default all is deny only. Now what I'm trying to do, right? I'm taking this public IP, copy this public IP. Where is that? Copy this public IP. I'm trying to access it. What will happen? Let's see. Okay. Give me 1 second. Yeah, if you see here, I'm giving ssh-i dev.pem and ec2-user specific public IP. Now I'm entering. Now, if you see here, I'm not able to connect. Okay. Now, what might be the reason? I'm going to this particular server. I'm checking the security groups. Select the security group. Okay. If you see here, it is enabled or not SSH connection. Okay. If you come here, you can check out here in inbound rules. If you observe here, I give the all traffic, sorry, SSH to the internet. Even though if you give instance level, security group level allow, but in network ACL level, it is denied. That's why you are not able to connect it. Understand, right? It means like if you deny at subnet level, even though if you enabling at security level, it won't work. The reason is like the subnet level, we are going to create the servers, right? It means like if you deny subnet level, it is automatically deny for even server level, and even if you enabling security group also, it won't work. Okay, now what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to enabling inbound rules, edit inbound rule, and here I'm giving here, as I said, like least number is high priority. The number inbound rules, NACL inbound rules, the number range is 1 to 32,766. 32,766 ranges. Okay, clear, right? Now I'm giving one, and here I'm giving the SSH traffic. You can give that SSH, right? You can give the SSH. I'm giving the 0.0. It is not recommended 0.0, but practice purpose fine. But in real time, right, we'll give the range of that particular client VPN. Example 10.0.0.0/8. Okay, you can give it allow or deny. I'm giving inbound rule is allow. Okay, now if you see here, I have given that inbound rule allow, and I'm trying to access it. I'm trying to access it. What will happen? Now, if you see here, okay, if you see here, now I'm trying to access it. Still, I have enabling inbound rule. I'm not able to. The reason is in NACL, you have to allow both inbound and outbound. If you're enabling only inbound, it doesn't mean it won't work. It won't work. You have to you have to allow outbound also. Okay, edit outbound rules, and here you can come down. Okay, I'm giving that rule number 1, and here I'm giving that SSH. Okay, here I'm giving the 0.0. Okay, now you can see here, right? Allow. Now I'm doing the allow and save changes. Now you can try to connect. Now if you see here, even though if enabling inbound is 22 and outbound also 22, it is not working. The reason is you have to remember one thing. Inbound is 22 fine, but when it comes to the outbound is, that number is not 22. It is some ranges. Okay, it is some range. Yeah, coming to the outbound rules, right? If you want to enabling 22, don't give only 22. You have to give the ranges 1,024 to 1,024 to 65,535 range. Okay, you have to be, must be allowed, because those are ephemeral form ports. So it may change when it comes to the output or our outbound rules. Okay, that's why always recommended when you are choosing this one, right? Don't only giving SSH port number for outbound rule, it won't work. You have to give the range. Okay, you have to give the custom range. You can select this one, and you can select here. Give me 1 second. Here you can select the custom TCP, and here custom TCP, and here you can select give that 1,002. Okay, you can give what is that number? 1,024 to 65,535. Okay, 1,024 to 6,535. You can give it. Now you can try with this. Now if you see here, now you can get it. I mean, you can access that. Now if you see here, you are able to access. The reason is inbound rule, we have enabling only port 22, but when it comes to the outbound rule, right, you have to give, you should be give the ranges 1,024 to 65,535. Okay, then only it will work. Okay, understand, right? Currently we gave 0.0, but it's not recommended. We always give the CADR range. Okay, understand, right? Fine, clear. Now you got some idea. If you're not enabling, it is deny means everything deny. Okay. Now if you see here outbound rule, if you want to be enabling 22 port number, not only 22, 80 port number, 443, anything, you have to give this range only. Okay, 10,000, 1024 to 65,535. Okay, understand. Now what I'm going to do? I'm changing this port rule number is 2, and I'm adding one more rule, that is of 1, and I'm giving the SSH port number is 22. Okay. Now I want to okay, allow only or deny only my IP address. Example, how can you get my IP address? You can go to here. You can type it. What is my IP? Okay, if you see here, what is my IP, you can get that particular your IP address. That IP address is this one. So what I'm going to do, right? I'm giving here in this this one, I'm giving here /32. Okay, now here I'm giving the deny. If you observe here, rule number 1, I have given the deny, but rule number 2, I have allowed 22 port number. For all, what will happen? Let's see. Okay, save changes. Okay, again I'm telling in inbound rule, whatever my IP address, public IP address, I have given the deny. Okay, the rule number is I gave 1. 1 means it is a high priority. Okay, what is the lowest number is high priority. Okay, then what I'm doing, what is happening here, right? The rule number 2, he already allowed. I already allowed. What will happen? Whether I connected or not, let's see. Okay. See, if you see here, go to here and give the CMD. Okay. Now again, I'm trying to connect SSH-I. Okay. dev.pem EC-user. Other than you can give the public IP. But reality, public IP we rarely use. We create a private subnets only, but we don't have any client VPN handle. That's why we are creating the public here. Okay. Now we can give it. Now if you see it here, I'm trying to connect. It is not able to connect. The reason is inside this particular, okay, inside this particular network ACL inbound rule, especially my IP address, I put deny. Especially I put deny, the rule number is lowest priority. It means first it will apply. Even though second rule number, it is already allowed for all the traffic, it won't allow. The reason is we already deny here. Okay, it means except this one, remaining all will be allowed here. Second rule number. Rule number 2 is allow. It means like except this, whatever we deny, everything will work. Okay, understand that? If you see here, now I'm not able to connect. Now what I will do, right? Go to the inbound rule. Okay. Now here I'm giving that first number is 1, 2, second number is 1. It means, right? It is the first one. I'm allowing all. It means anyone can able to access port number 22. But if you see here, rule number 2, I have given the explicitly deny of my number. It means my public IP I have denied in me. It means I can't able to access from my laptop. Okay, now we can save it. Now what will happen? Let's see. Rule number 1. Yeah, you can give it 3 also, anything's fine. Okay. Now if you see here, now we gave that. Now go to the inbound rules. Now again I'm explaining here. If you see here, 1 number, I already allow all traffic for SSH port number 22. But when it comes to that 3 number, right? Explicitly I have denied. Even though if you denied a low number, what will happen? Let's see. Now I'm trying to connect. Okay. Now I'm trying to connect. I can able to connect. The reason is rule number 1 is high priority, right? Whatever lowest number, it is a high priority. First it will be applied. It means like first it is applying. It means it is allowing all traffic. Even though rule number 3, I have explicitly denied, it won't work. It will be skipped. The reason is like I have already enabling it. Okay. Remember, if you enabling anywhere, first rule number, lowest priority number, if you enabling, if you disable, if you deny lowest number, after number any number, it means like it means like it is already enabling all. Means even if you declare this deny option, it won't be work. Okay, it will be skipping. Okay, not only for that one. If you give rule number 1, I have given the deny. Okay, even rule number 3, if you allow also, it won't work. Okay, vice versa. Okay, understand that? This is the one of the most important question in interview level. What is the usage of NACL? Okay, where exactly you are using? Okay, and one more thing, not only my number, in real time, where exactly will be use it. Let's take example, you have a dev environment. Okay, for production, right? You want to be, for in production, you don't want to be access production data. Okay, for that one, right? What we will do, we can come to the NACL and we can give it the particular production CADR range. Example 10.110, 10.110.0.0/16. I can edit inbound rule. I can give it here, create an ad, and I can give that low number because that should be applied quickly, right? Immediately. That's why I can give the low number, and then I can give the deny. It means it will be deny. Even though after if we give any number, even though if we allow also, it won't work because first we are giving the low number is high priority, right? It is deny. That's why it will be deny only. Okay, clear, right? Understand, right? Any questions? So this is one of the most important. And one more thing, as I said, NACL is stateless. Okay, it means like you have to be enabling both inbound and outbound. If you're enabling inbound, if you're not enabling outbound, also it won't work. It won't be identified. Okay, that is the reason we can call it as a stateful. Sorry, stateless. Okay, you can call it as a stateless. This is also one of the most we always create it. And one more thing, guys, for public related public subnets, we will be create the public NACL. We will be create the public NACL. We will be associate only public subnets, and we will be create the private NACL, and we will be associate the only private NACL, and we can give it whatever we require inbound rules. Okay, and one thing you have to remember, whether you really worked or not, they can easy to identify. Hey Murali, in subnet level, NACL level, I have denied specific IP range. Okay, specific IP range I have denied, and I have enabling at secret group level. I'm not able to connect. What will happen? How do you troubleshoot? Okay, you have to tell. Remember, if you deny at subnet level, NACL level, it will apply at subnet level. Even though if you enabling at security group level, you can't access until unless if you allow that particular inside the NACL level. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? Okay, these are one of the most important. If you want to be restrict at subnet level, you can use the NACL. Okay, any questions now? Now, whatever we created NACL, right, both public and private, I'm going to delete it. One thing you have to remember, for NACL, it won't be charged anything for creation part. Only thing is data process, right? How much data you processing over the internet. I mean, whatever it will be chargeable. Not only this one, IGW also, IGW is free. Whatever it is going through that, I mean, processing the data for GB level, it will be charged. Okay, clear? I'm deleting this one. Delete NACL. I don't require. And if you see here, it is already associated subnet. That's why it is throwing the error. Now, what I'm doing here, right? First, I'm selecting this one. I'm going to the subnet association, and you can dissociate and automatically attach to the default NACL. Okay. Now you can go here and public subnets. You can disconnect, and you can. Now you can save it. And one more thing, they may ask one question interview level. Are you guys using default NACL? Remember, default NACL we won't be used, but a default NACL, when you create the VPC, it will be create the default NACL. And if you create any subnets, those subnets will be attached to the default NACL only, default. Okay. But we always recommend in real time also, we always use the custom NACL. Example, for public subnets, we will be create the public NACL. Private one will be create the private NACL. I mean, private app data subnets will be create the private NACL. The reason is why we need to create a public for separate NACL, private for separate NACL. In case if you want to restrict for public subnets, if you want to restrict for app data private subnets, we can easy to restrict it. Okay, that is the reason we always create the separate NACLs. Okay, now I'm going to delete it. I have already discussed it. Okay, now you can delete it. Now you can come here and we can select this one, you can delete it. Remember, once you create, right, you can test it, and also I'm going to, whatever we create a server, right, we need to terminate it. Otherwise, right, it will be chargeable. Okay. Now I'm terminating this server. Okay. Understand, right? What are the major use cases of NACL? If we disable and if we deny that my IP address also, I'm not able to connect. Example I showcase as I said. In your case, you can do whatever you want. Okay. Sometimes, right, what will happen? Sometimes suddenly there might be some issue in organization level, they are not able to connect any servers. During that time, right, what you have to do, the particular server, first we have to check it, secret group, okay, and whether allow or not, then you have to come to the NACL and you have to verify if anyone is explicitly denied, explicitly they have mentioned the deny option. If not, so then you have to verify whether they are using proper FEM file or not, whether they are using proper public or private IP or not. These things we have to verify. Okay. But especially if you disable at NACL level, even though if you have access, you allow in security group level, it won't work. Okay. Understand that? Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about how do we create the security groups. Okay, how do we attach this particular security group to the specific EC2 instance, and also how do we enabling inbound or outbound of specific IP address port number. Okay, before going to discussing about this, first we will be understanding what exactly security group, so that you will get some idea. Then we can go with practical. Okay. First of all, security group, it will act as a virtual firewall for your EC2 instances. Okay, we can, using this security group, we can control inbound and outbound traffic for the particular EC2 instances. Okay, and security groups operate at the instance level and are stateful. And stateful is nothing but, like example, you have enabled port number. Okay, if it is allowed, it is automatically, if you allow inside, right, it is automatically allowed outside as well. Okay, and one thing you have to remember, security group will be create specific VPC, and this particular security group will be attached to the EC2 instances, RDS. Okay, and the next thing is, this particular security group, we have only allow option. We don't have any deny option. It is not similar to NACL. NACL we have a allow and deny option, right? So here security group by default, if you create any security group, if you attach that particular security group to the EC2 instance, by default all are deny until unless if you allow any specific port number, specific CID or then default it is deny. Okay, it means all deny. Fine. And coming to the key features, as I said, like stateful. It means like if you allow inbound request from an IP, the response is automatically allowed. And next one is instance level security. It means that this particular security group we can use at instance level only. Okay, and rules, both inbound and outbound rules we can add or remove without restarting the instance. It means like we have one instance, we can attach or detach the particular security groups, multiple security groups. Okay, one thing you have to remember here also, if you create a security group on specific VPC, you can attach that particular security group. You can attach that particular security group only that particular inside the VPC EC2 instances. And one more thing, single security group, we can attach multiple EC2 instances. Multiple security groups also we can attach single EC2 instances. Both vice versa it will work. Okay. And before creation of security group, so we can see this just a diagram so that we will get some idea. Then we can go with the practical. Okay. And coming to here, let's take example. You have a AWS account and you have a VPC. Example, instead of Murli, you can consider as a dev VPC. The range is 10.100. And if you see here, we have a public subnets and we have a private subnets. Already we created right earlier, and we'll be create one EC2 instance in the public subnet. We'll be, also we will be attach this particular IGW to the VPC. Okay, and we will be create one security group in this particular VPC, dev VPC, and then we will be attach this particular security group to the EC2 instances. Inside the security group, we can allow a deny. We can allow specific port number. So as I said, right, by default deny only. Okay, clear. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. Okay, for that one, go to AWS account. If you see here, we have a dev VPC and also we have a subnets we already created, dev public private app subnets, everything. And also you can see the route table, everything we have. Okay, now as I said, right, when you create the VPC, by default, it will create the default VPC, sorry, default security group. Okay. The default security group also available. So for that one, go to EC2 instance, go to here, security groups, or else you can VPC only, come down. Where is that? Yeah, here we have a security groups. If you observe here, we have two security groups. The default one, if you see here, specific VPC default security group. Okay, let me check it. You can check this one. Yeah, this is the default VPC security group, but we required a customized one, right? You can copy that ID, VPC ID, copy this and come here, security group, and you can search with this one. This is the default one, okay? Default dev VPC SG. And one more thing, security group, we can call it as SG, okay? Shortcut name. Okay, now what this is the default VPC security group, but in real time we always create our customized one, right? That's why I'm going to create one security group and I will be attach this security group to the EC2 instances so that you will get some idea. Create a security group, and here we have option go up. Here I'm giving dev SG. Okay, it means I have created for dev SG, and you can give the description as well. Here you have to select the which VPC you are going to create this particular security group. Okay, in our case, right, I'm going to create for dev VPC. Okay, in case in your case dev QA UAT prod, you can create it. Okay, and here one of the most important, by default outbound rules are all traffic 0, 0. That is fine. Outbound is fine. If we enabling outbound all traffic for security group also, that is fine. It won't be any issue. But the only thing is inbound rule, you have to be control it. Okay, outbound is already enabling. Now I'm going to add it inbound rule, but I'm not adding. Just come down, and here if you want to outbound rules we have, and also if you want to be added tags, you can do that. Now what I'm doing here, right, I'm creating that. Now here I'm giving name. Okay, dev-hc. Okay, now you can create it. Now if you see here, now security group is created. Okay, where it is created, this is the name, security group ID, description, which VPC we have created, we can able to see it here. Who is the owner of that one? Do we have any inbound rules, and do we have any outbound rules also? We can check it here. Okay, now if you see here, currently inbound rules we don't have anything. Outbound rules we default it is all traffic. If you observe here, you can go up here. You can go here. If you see here, all traffic, that to 0. Remember, again, I'm telling security group outbound traffic. If we put 0.0 also, it won't be any issue. But the only thing is we have to be careful to allow these particular inbound rules. Okay. Now what I'm doing here, right? I have created security group. Okay. Now I will be creating the EC2 instance. Now I will be trying to access this particular server. So what will happen? What IP address we need to be allow? We can see it. Okay. For that one, right? Copy this particular security group ID. Okay, go to EC2, launch instance. Okay, and here I'm giving Linux server. Okay, this is a public Linux server I'm creating because I don't have any client VPN, right? We can't access with the private IP. That's why we'll be create a public subnet only. Okay, select this. Okay, now you can come down. Now you can select the t2.macro file, and keeper you can select that our dev. And here very important, VPC you have to select dev VPC, and here you have to select the public subnet. Okay, because you require public IP, right? That's why select this public subnet. And if you see here, it is assigned the public IP. Here, if you observe here, when you create this server, you have to attach the security group to allow specific IP and ranges and with CADR. Okay. So if you see here, you can create directly here, and here we have option existing security group. Now what I'm doing here, right? We already created a security group. So I will attach that security group here. So copy that security group and you can search with that one. You can able to get it here. If you see here, in this particular VPC, this is the security group dev-sc. Okay. Now I'm launching the instance. I'm not changing anything. Just launch the instance. Okay. Now what will happen? It will launch the EC2 instance. Okay. It will launch the EC2 instance. Okay. Now we can wait for few seconds so that it will be come up. Meanwhile, you can open here. You can use CMD command prompt. Now I'm using here SSH -a dev.pem. Okay, EC2 user. Now you can give the IP address. What is the public IP? You can select this one. It was generated. Assign the public IP. You can copy this public IP. Okay. You can copy this public IP. You can paste it here. Now, if you observe here, I'm trying to access. What is happening? When I am trying to access, usually the particular secret group inbound rule. What is the port number of Linux? The port number is 22, right? For this particular secret group, if you observe here, inbound rule, I haven't enabling 22 port number. That's why I'm trying to access. Still, it is not yet, and it is throwing the error like connection timed out. It means like either you haven't enabled port number 22, or either you may your specific IP address, your public IP address or specific CAD range, we have blocked it. I mean, deny at NACL level. Okay. Currently, we did for secret group, we haven't enabled, right? That's why inbound rules I haven't enabled port number 22. That's why I'm not able to access. It is throwing the error particular port number 22 connection timed out. Now, what I'm going to do, right? Edit inbound rules, specific secret group, add rule, and here very most important, what type of option you have to be allow, whether you want to be custom TCP, custom UDP, all TCP, all UDP, or all ICMP. Okay, and also if you want to be allow all traffic, means it is entire range. And one more thing you have to remember, security group CADR ranges, I mean port range is 0 to 65,535. 0 to 65,535, that is the range. Okay. Now, if you want to be enabling SSH, you can select this one. If you see here, SSH port number is 22. Okay. Now you can come here. You can also SMTP if you want to be enable DNS, UDP, TCP, HTTP. HTTP port number 80, right? You can see it here. Okay. And you can come down. And you can also see the LDAP, HTTPS 443 port number. Okay. And also if you want to be SMB, okay, SMTPS. Okay, everything. If you want to be MySQL or RDP, everything you can, PostgreSQL, everything you can do that one. In case your port number is not available here, okay, what you can do, right? You can choose the custom TCP and you can give the port number here. Okay, example, currently we have SSH, right? Select the SSH. Now, if you observe here, we have a SSH. Now here it is showing the protocol is TCP, whether TCP or UDP. You can see it here. The port range is 22. We have enabled based on we selected this one. Here, one of the most important source. Okay. This particular 22, whom to give access. Okay. Here we have a custom TCP. Here I can give my IP ranges, or you can allow specific CAD range. Example, client VPN range, or entire organization level range. Example 0.0.0/8. Example, your organization using 10 series. You can go 10.0.0. It means like entire your organization IP address allowed, so that anyone can access using this port number 22. Or in case if you require anywhere if you give the 0.0, it is not recommended. Remember, it is not recommended in real time. We won't be use it in real time 0.0. We always give the specific CAD range. Okay. In case IPv6, if you have, we can do that. And also if you want to be allow only specific IP. Example, this is my public IP, my IP. Automatically assign this particular one. It means like if you attach this, I already attached this secret group to the EC2 instance, right? I only having access for 22 port number. Even in organization level, no one will be accessible. Some use cases, right? If you are doing POC, just you want to be enabling only for your public IP, you can use my IP. But usually we will give the custom IP, and you will give the specific CAD range of your network. Okay, example 10.0.0. Okay, clear, right? Now what I'm doing here, right? I'm giving the my IP because I'm allowing only my IP. Just save rules. Okay, now it is saved it. Now you can come down here. You can check it here. Now you can check it here. I have enabled only my IP. Okay, clear, right? Fine. Now I will be try to access this. Okay, now I will be try to access this one. Now, if you see here, I have enabling 22 port number with my public IP. You may ask question, how did you get your public IP? Based on you connected your networking, right? You can go on Google search here, my IP address. Okay, now you can check it. What is my IP address? Here you can get it that particular IP 45.249.77.125. One problem here is, right, currently you have connected example Geo. If you connect the other network, right, it may be different IP. Okay, remember, that's why just temporarily I have updated my IP for testing purpose. Usually we'll give the 10.0.0, but if you give the 10.0.0, right, you have to connect the client VPN or Cisco for connecting private subnets, private IPs. Okay, clear, right? We'll discuss more on that one when it comes to the directory service and client VPN, so that you will get more idea. Okay, understand, right? This is the process. If you observe here, I have updated its inbound rules. Okay, I have updated inbound rules, and immediately I'm trying to access. It is immediately applied whatever I declared inside the inbound rules, right? So this is one of the most advantage. Even if you remove this one inbound rule, automatically if you try to access, it will immediately revoke it. Okay, it won't take much time also. It may take 1 or 2 seconds only. Immediately apply the changes. Okay, and next one is, in case if you want to be edit inbound rules, you can do that one. If you want to edit outbound rules, you can do that one. In case if you want to create a new security group from current one, you can do that. Copy to new security group. You can click this one, and here you can give whatever you want name. Here I'm giving QA-HZ. Okay, now you can select that. If you want to give any description, you can give it. Just example, I'm giving QA-HZ. And here, very most important, you have to select the QA VPC. Okay, now I'm selected this dev only. Just I'm going to show you one thing. Create a security group. Okay, now if you see here, we have created security group. That is fine. Now, this security group, I have created 2 security groups, right? Single EC2 instance, I can attach multiple security groups. How do we do? For that one, right? Select the instance, go to the actions, go to the security. Here we have a change security group, select this one. And here already we attached dev-sc. Now what you have to do, right? You can search with QA. Now if you see here, QA-sc and add security group, you can attach. Remember, single instance, you can attach multiple security groups. Single security group, we can attach multiple instances. Okay, that is one of the most important. It means, right, if you have a 3 servers with a single security group, we can attach same security group to the 3 servers. You don't require to create each server separate security group. Okay, but only one thing you have to remember. Security group work VPC level. It means like, if you create a security group in dev VPC, inside the dev VPC, if you launch any EC2 instances, RDS, anything, you can attach the security group. Example, you have created a security group in dev VPC, but server is created in QA VPC. If you want to be, if you are trying to attach, you can't. The reason is the specific VPC level, it will work. Okay. And one more thing, it is stateful. It means like I have enabled inbound rules, automatically outbound allow, and outbound rule always we can keep it all traffic. That is fine. It won't be any issue. And one more thing, again, I'm repeating, security group by default all deny. Okay. If you want to be allow specific port number, you can do that one. Example for connecting SSH, right? We have enabled port number 22. Sorry, this is outbound. Okay, port number 22. But in real time, right, in case if you deployed application, port number you have to enable HTTP 80, HTTPS 443, how to enabling it. Okay, in case if you create a application load balancer, you have to enabling port number 80, 443. Okay, you can give the custom resources 0.0. Okay, application load balancer, that too internet facing, you have to allow all traffic only. Sorry, port number 80, 443, source is 0.0. Okay, we'll see it. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? No, right? Fine. Now what I'm doing here, right? I'm deleting whatever I created. Now select this one. We created a dev. Come down. We have created dev, and also we have created QA, right? Yeah, QA. Now I'm trying to delete it. What will happen? Let's see. Delete security group. Now if you see here, I'm trying to delete the security group. What is throwing the error? This whatever I create, I mean, whatever I'm going to delete the security group, Okay, we already attached to the EC2 instance. That's why will not be deleted. The status is showing the will not be deleted. For that one, what you have to do, right? First, to go to the EC2 instance, go to the actions, go to the security group, change security groups. Okay, here you can remove these two and then save it. Here it is expecting at least you have to add it one security group. Now what I'm doing here, right? I'm adding default VPC, default security group. Okay, add role. Now you can, if you see here, I have added the default security group and remaining dev1 QA security group I have deleted. Okay. Remember QA also I have created in dev VPC only just for FIA. Okay. And now I'm trying to delete this two dev, this two. I'm trying to select it. Now it won't be throw any error. The reason is we deleted this particular security group. We haven't attached anywhere. That's why you can able to delete it easily. Okay, clear, right? This is the process of deleting security groups. I hope understand, right? What is the advantage of using security group? And an instance level, the security group will work in the instance level. It will by default deny. If you want, you can enable specific IP address and specific port number and with CIDR range. Okay, clear, right? Yeah. Any other question? Now, here we have a Tech with Murli website. Here I will be publish all the DevOps related courses, DevOps, AWS, Kubernetes, Terraform, logging and monitoring, okay, Helm, GitHub, GitLab, and also we can publish Azure, Google Cloud, everything I will be published here. If anyone planning to enroll the courses, you can use DevOps 50 coupon code to get 50% discount. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn, Instagram, and also you can join Telegram, Tech with Murli. So I will be publish new things. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next.